must be something wrong with me, that they could tell by the way I looked at Zara that I was definitely a lesbian. Right they were, on all fronts. After the girls dumped me, I started hanging out with Felix and Giel more often. Of all the kids at our very white, very exclusive high school, they were the whitest and the most exclusive of them all. And I guess I liked that. During the break, Giel pretty much said just one thing. "Oh, is that all?" And Felix would nod. I nodded too, but I never knew exactly what he was talking about. I only knew that he was right, because white exclusive people were always right. I was almost never right, and that's something that got harder for me over time. In fact, I was pretty much wrong about everything. Wrong about boys, and wrong about girls. Wrong about the right answers, and, more importantly, wrong about the right questions. A person can have all the answers they want, but if they don't ask the right questions, those answers will always be speaking into the void. That's what I figured out. I figured out that there are answers that precede questions. And as long as those answers are wrong, that's all you'll ever be. Wrong. Part 1. The History of My Sexuality. Chapter 1. Walter, the recruitment consultant. The history of my sexuality is that I've always been looking for someone to close all the doors and windows. Someone who would say, "Okay, that's enough now." More precisely, first I was into men, and later into women, but really always into women. Into Muriel, my long-legged, red-headed tutor. Into so many women, really. But I kept my eyes and something else, extremely crucial, closed. Not that any of that is actually relevant. I lost my virginity to Walter, the recruitment consultant, but that's something I'd rather not dwell on. He voted Conservative, and when I was really struggling to get excited, I tried to focus on that, to channel that weird connection between horniness and hate. I lost my virginity on Sarfatistraat, in a house on the Weesperplein, with a long flagpole jutting out of the facade. I always recognize it by the flagpole. It reminds me of Walter's chubby, demanding erection. Walter was very sweet. The night it happened, he said, "I think I'm more nervous than you are." And he was more nervous than me. To be honest, I couldn't have cared less. The reason I wanted to lose my virginity was that I wanted to be PD'd, or properly deflowered. Milan and I were spending a lot of time at coffee company when we were supposed to be in class, and we talked about being PD'd constantly. Or more specifically, we talked about the period of reckless debauchery that would inevitably follow being PD'd. Being PD'd was a euphemism we had invented for our future children, who would undoubtedly come to us one day and ask, "Who was the first person you ever slept with?" And we'd be ready with a very chaste answer. Milan eventually lost his virginity in a toilet at the VU Medical Centre. He went on to study medicine. I lost mine to Walter on the night of the 1st of September, 2011. After that, we continued to see each other for a while, not because I enjoyed being with him, but because it was necessary for keeping up appearances. Walter and I met at Café Mosseltoff, right after I texted the TV presenter, Matthias von Newkirk. He was the guy I actually wanted to sleep with, but he never texted back. I got his number from my brother because he had a lot of connections. That's what I craved at 17, sex and a lot of connections. I ducked into a snack bar round the corner so I could fully concentrate on my message to von Newkirk. When I got back to the Mosseltoff, I saw Walter standing there and immediately planted a kiss on his cheek. Betsy was sitting at the back of the bar. I walked up to her and said, "This is the one." Since the day I'd met her, Betsy had always been a bit prettier than me, which made going out with her a nightmare.